Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another edition Ahmadiyya Fact Check blog. I got beef on these streets with these Qadianis, these brainwashed Qadianis. Check this guy out. They're sending these kids, they're brainwashing these kids and sending them out to have discussions with people. And it's wrong, right? When I was a kid, I never did it. I didn't go out and preach Qadiana to people. I refused to do it. And that's why Khurram used to see me as a bastard child. That's why Khurram accused my mom of adultery. That's why. Khurram hated us so much because we didn't want to do Waqariam, because we didn't want to be a part of the Ahmadiyya movement. He hated us so much, he ruined my other brother's life. Khurram Shah is the culprit. And he's going to pay a hefty fine when he goes to Allah. Allah's going to say, okay, so let me tell you why Khurram, let me show that. Okay, this is Khurram Shah. They calling me a bastard child. They quoted Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. You guys want to hear it? All right, check this out. Let me see if I can play some of this stuff. Okay, here it is. You guys ready?
Dawah, he sent me a video. I listened to it on my phone, and it does appear that Mujahid, you said something which you probably shouldn't have said, but and that's up to you if you want to apologize or not. But let me make one thing clear. One Dawah, listen to me very, very clearly. I am on public record saying that Bashir Shah is Waladul Haraam. I'll repeat it again. Spiritually, he is Waladul Haraam. He lies about his father. He abuses his father. He curses his father. He doesn't follow what his father follows. That makes him Waladul Haraam. Okay? So, and I'm not going to take it back. You can do whatever you want. Now, if Mujahid wants to take it back.
Okay, so there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy accuses his mom of adultery. And he hates his mom. So let me tell you, he really, really hates his mom. And the reason is because he accuses his mom of mistreating his wife, who's also his cousin. So he's got this thing also bubbling in the background, is that him and his mom don't get along. Right? So it's a funny story. I bumped into my dad at the courthouse many years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. And I said, Assalamu alaikum. Same thing I said to Khurram. I said, Assalamu alaikum, put my hand out to shake his hand. He wouldn't shake my hand. Then he starts screaming for police. So I left. As soon as that happened, I left. He comes outside and he says, I'm not your father. Like, he's serious. He's like, you have a different father. And I'm like, where is this coming from? He's accusing his wife of adultery. So this is what they really believe, you know. And where did my dad and Khurram get these behaviors from? They got it from Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Mirza Ghulam Ahmad disowned his own son, right? Didn't Mirza Sultan Ahmad side with Muhammadi Begum in that whole thing? Didn't he? So that's where they got it from. That's all the behaviors in my dad and in Khurram. They all came from Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. No doubt. No doubt. The constant lying, the constant arguing, the competitive nature, all of that comes directly from Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. So let me show you and we don't even know this kid's name, but he said his name is on Twitter, Al Mujahid. You guys want to hear him calling me a bastard? All right, check this out. Are y'all ready? Check it out.
It should be fine after making so many lies that we should respond them and then we should just shut up right now.
Why you mad, bro? Why you mad at me, dude? Why you
You're 40-year-old pastor. You're behaving like a child. Let's come to the argument. Let's come to the argument.
You just got wrecked, bro.
It should be fine after making so many lies that we should respond them and then we should just shut up right now.
Why you mad, bro? Why you mad at me, dude? Why you?
You're 40-year-old pastor. You're behaving like a child. Let's come to the argument. Let's come to the argument.
You just got wrecked, bro.
All right, so let me tell you what happened. So here's what they tell these kids. Here's what they're telling these kids. Go out there and make this argument. Let's go argue wafa. Well, we've already told him wafa can mean death. It depends on the context. We've told him 1,000 times. Our position is wafa in chapter 355 can mean death if it means in the future. This is what Ibn Abbas said. This is what all these guys said. But they said it's secondary. It's not primary. Initially, it doesn't mean death. Wafa in chapter 355, it means that Allah captured him. Okay? And when he returns, it means he's going to die and be buried in Medina. Let me tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that wafa is going to happen in India, little boy. Okay, so let's see. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah, hey, look. They out here cussing at me. My dad cussing at me. All these people cussing at me openly. I just laugh. I just laugh in their face like this is funny. Because these are all paper soldiers. They're not doing anything about it. So, you know. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. It's exactly. They won't admit to anything. Khurram can't admit to anything. Forget it. Forget it. When I used to ask him, bro, why don't you just admit to like little silly, like, you know, sometimes I get mad at my kids and I'll be like, dude, I'm sorry, my bad. I made a mistake that time, you know, and I'll confess the whole thing to him. This guy can't. And it's not his fault. Khurram's innocent. Let me be the first to say that. Khurram, Al-Mujahid, Ahmadi, all these guys are innocent. The Ahmadiyya movement poisoned them. The Ahmadi Murabbis poisoned them. So I see them all as innocent. That's why I just laugh at them, you know? Okay, let's see what else. Oh, thank you. You know, on the job, Aki. All right, so I had one more thing I wanted to play. So, okay, today, whoever this kid's name is, he's doing a live stream. I tried to join. Khurram jumps in. Don't let Bashir on. Don't let Bashir. He'll destroy you. He's gonna rip you. Well, and here's the reason, because I don't let people just quote anything. You got to quote Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. I don't let an Ahmadi quote anything. You got to quote me what Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said. And if he was silent, then you can go to Nuruddin. You can go to the second Khalifa. That you have to quote somebody, and you have to present a text that's been translated. And we go to phase 2. Can we agree on the context? Can we agree on what this reference means? If we can't agree on it, then we can't even really use it. Yeah. This is what they do, man. And then they cry persecution when the police show up. Khurram, so I bumped into Khurram in 2018. I had my kids with me, and I just came to say Assalamu alaikum. I hadn't seen the guy in 5 years. I don't hold grudges. You know, he fired me. He did all kind of stuff, right? Assalamu alaikum. You know, what's up? He started yelling for police, police. He gets scared. Like, why are you afraid of me, man? You know, why are all these guys afraid of me? I don't know. I'm like I wouldn't hurt a flea. You know, I might run into you on accident playing basketball, and that might hurt you. But other than that, like, why are you afraid of me, man? I don't get it. So, yep, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. All right, so let me play this audio from today where Khurram was like, don't go talk to Bashir. Don't do it, brother. Don't do it, brother. Okay, so here we go. I got the volume up.
No. Let Imam Bashir Shah, Imam, quote unquote, give him the link and you can join us and explain to us what Ibn Abbas said. And we can, inshallah, go with
He's like, no.
All the isnats and everything. We can go through it. Send the Imam Bashir Shah and you can join us, inshallah. So, and the judge, actually, you know, so we have to stick to our program, which is, you know, you guys are continuing to provide all the references. We can take questions via text. And that's why I'm not blocking him at this point.
And then he blocked me.
But you guys can continue and just keep answering the questions. So, you know, for example, no. Let Imam Bashir Shah.
All right, so there you have it. Okay, so here's what me and this guy were talking about, like on the back chat or on Discord. I want him to acknowledge the Ibn Abbas position, and he won't do it. They refuse to acknowledge the Ibn Abbas position. That's where we're at. Ibn Abbas meant in the future. So the wafa in mutawafika can mean death. Here's the only way. There's only one way it can mean death. That is in the future. Not in India, in Medina. Right? I did a whole video on this. These guys know. These guys know. And they don't want to discuss anything else. That's the end of the story. They talked about wafa, and they just give their arguments and run. That's like another big problem. So, all right, let me just go over my notes really quick, just to make sure I covered everything. Oh, yeah. So back to Khurram. Okay, so remember, I'm about 11, 12 years old. I go to an istima, a fall istima in Portland, Oregon, and the Jamaat president's daughter has a boyfriend. I know him. That's my boy. I tell him it's all bad. I'm like, why do you have a girlfriend at the masjid? I was like, that's the weirdest thing in the world. And I'm like, you know what's funny? These guys don't like us, the Shah family, but you guys are up here doing all kind of other stuff. I'm like, this is ironic. The president's daughter has a boyfriend, and they've been getting it on in the bathroom, and all the kids know about it. But instead, they hate me because when an Ahmadi is disrespectful to me, I'll smack them. Like, how does this make any sense? You know, Ahmadis are disrespectful people. It's not their fault. The Mirza family taught them. The Mirza family taught. See how Khurram talks? That's the same way the Mirza family has taught Ahmadis to speak. Yeah. So that's the issue. Is I don't get it. So we're bad because if someone is rude to me when I'm 12 years old, I smack them in the face, and now they avoid me because they're afraid now, or is having a boyfriend girlfriend at the Ahmadiyya Masjid in Portland, Oregon, is that bad? What's worse? You tell me. So we were gonna get this dude. We were gonna get him, and I told her, bro, this dude is being disrespectful. He disrespected me in Bay Point. He's being hella disrespectful. I'm about to get this dude. Right? So Khurram snitched on us. And really it was my brother. My brother was going to get him. My other brother was going to get him. So I took the blame because that's what I do. You know what I mean? I don't snitch. I said it was just me. You know? So this is what Khurram, so imagine how Khurram felt. Imagine how my dad felt. This is when they tried to kill me. Literally. And my other brother. They ruined my other brother's life. And they won't accept the responsibility. They won't take responsibility for it. They tried to do me the same way, right? But I slipped out. See what I mean? I had figured it all out. Not all of it. I figured most of it out. My dad hated me because I questioned Ahmadiyya at age 11, 12. He wants me dead. So they forced me to do all the work. And I did it. It's nothing. Khurram, I used to come to your shop and clean it. Open it up and close it for nothing, for free, for the free. See, and it's funny because I sent my dad a bill. So now it makes sense. You guys should pay me because you just admitted that when I was 11, 12 years old, you guys saw me as a stepchild, bastard child. You just admitted to it. So then pay me the $500,000 you owe me in wages. Right? So they don't want to do that either. So this proves that. So why did Khurram steal the family business for himself? We had this house, this big house, dude, like a 7-bedroom. Khurram foreclosed on it, wouldn't pay on it. He's screwing everyone out of anything. A nickel. He is like, oh, and he's arrogant and rude about it. Oh, this is who he is, man. This is who he is. And then so really he hates his mom. He hates his family because none of us like him. Even the cousins. None of the cousins hang out with this guy. No one in the family hangs out with him. You know, and he post something about going golfing, and bro, we don't golf either, bro. We play that basketball, or we play that football, or that softball. You know, Khurram can't run. He's got bad knees and a bad back. Like, the guy's living a miserable life, and he's married to his cousin on top of all that. And he's had boyfriends. In high school, he had a boyfriend. You know me. I'm not the type to harp on people. That's not me. I don't. You know. I don't know what he's doing. You know. And then I think he dated Scott Borba. He dated a guy named Waqar Ahmed Bajwa. I'm about to do an expose on Bajwa and their mullah Urshad Mully. I'm about to hit all these guys. Watch. Don't even worry about it. So Khurram had many boyfriends. I used to see him and this guy Waqar like kissing in the car. Oh, that's at work. They're doing this stuff at work. Like, what's going on? So maybe he's preying on these young Ahmadis. Ahmadi Jut's his newest boyfriend, newest boy toy. You know? Same thing with Damon. Damon's another boy toy. That Khurram like him skinny. You know, Khurram's a little hefty. So, you know, he likes the opposite, you know. So that's basically the story. Let me just check my Salim Mir showed up to some stream and he's like, oh, Salim Mir is the biggest liar you ever met in your life. He's like, oh, let me show you what an enemy of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said. And he quotes the review that Batalavi gave in 1884. But he doesn't present the story properly. Batalavi was a friend of Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. They're trying to help Mirza Ghulam Ahmad make some money. That's all that was. You know, my dad used to praise me. Khurram used to praise me. Khurram wrote me a letter of recommendation. All these guys used to praise me until I quit Ahmadiyya. What if I go and I show you that and say, look, here's what the enemies say? See, so everything these guys quote is wrong. Everything. They just mispresent everything that they could possibly misrepresent. So, okay. Yeah. So all they want to talk about is so here's why the only thing they want to talk about is the death of Isa, because this is what they've been told to do. The Ahmadiyya Jamaat has told them only discuss the death of Isa. That's it. Or the alleged death of Isa. Don't talk about nothing else. Don't talk about prophethood, because they know they're going to get in trouble. Don't talk about the Mahdi, because they know they're going to get in trouble. They're like, just talk about Wafati Isa. Well, Wafa can mean death. We never said it doesn't. In the case of Isa, alayhi salam, it didn't. However, it can. What's the only one way? You know, that in the future. Or maybe when Allah took him, he caused him death for like a millisecond and then lifted him up. Isn't this what Ghamdi believes? Like there was a few Muslims who believe that. It's some type of sleep death. So we don't know. So the Ummah is not harping on this. What do we know for sure? He's physically coming back. Isa alayhi salam, the son of Mary. There could be no other human being in the history of the world who is Isa ibn Maryam. Never existed. There's only one person. And Khurram lost in the discussion with Kashif Shahzada on this topic, Ism. Khurram didn't know what Ism meant. So these are the issues, man. We keep battling these guys. They keep cussing at me. Khurram keeps crying. I was talking about his wife. Really, that's not the issue. It was never the issue. He just did this. He just called me a bastard child and accused my mother of adultery. Let's not forget. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, Assalamu alaikum. Peace out. Oh, hold on. We got some questions. Yeah, Damon's into men mostly. Probably some farm animals too. You never know, a goat or something. Damon would turn on some heavy metal and he's ready. He's ready. Yeah. So, okay. Wafati straight hood. And see, so like, unlike Khurram, I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm happy where I'm from. I grew up in lower income. I grew up around street prostitution and street pimping. And I saw it every day. Khurram saw it too. I knew all these people on a first name basis. Where I grew up, where I lived in California, there was like 6 liquor stores in like 100-yard radius. There were homeless people. You name it. And this is the 80s and the 90s, bro. This is not like now, right? My dad had a tire shop that he sold. My dad had a gas station. He sold to his brother. His brother allowed alcohol sales. So I grew up at a liquor store. So what are these guys even talking about? My dad's tire shop was right next door to a bar called Larry's Bar. We used to go in there to get change. My dad would send me in there to get change if we didn't have change in our pocket. What are these guys talking about? Khurram, the first time, Khurram would go into Larry's Bar. Probably the first bar he ever walked into was Larry's Bar. So come on, man, give it a rest. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum and peace out.